Can you imagine living paycheck to paycheck on a poverty wage of $8.80 an hour, bringing home about $350 a week? Could you find affordable, safe, clean housing? What about a two-bedroom apartment that rents for $900, leaving your family $500 for utilities, food, clothing, and transportation? Can you imagine making the leftover $500 stretch for an entire month? What if? What if your child needs school supplies or new shoes? What if your car needs repairs or you have a flat tire? What if it rains for a week and your husband, who works construction, doesn't get paid? What if your child gets sick and you have to take off work? What if the rent goes up? What if your husband gets deported or you get divorced? Or a new baby comes into the family? What if your only choice is a payday loan and then another? What if you have no safety net? It is these what ifs that bring families to WHP on the brink of homelessness with nowhere to turn, willing to do anything it takes to keep a roof over their children's heads and food in their stomachs. WHP is a unique homeless prevention program in Houston. These are some of our families. When families face eviction, the children are often hit the hardest. Their education is disrupted as they're forced to move from a familiar school to an uncertain future. That was the prospect facing the Briano family. Erica had just recently separated from her husband of 15 years. She decided enough was enough, and she couldn't stay with a man who always kept her down and told her that she would never amount to anything. On her own, with 6 children, she found herself unable to pay the rent and keep up with the bills. But she was ready to become her own person. She just needed a little help.
They helped me with 9 months with my rent, helped me get a better job and get more hours, not having to worry about how I was going to pay my bills. They helped me with my resume. Counseling, I got counseling. Awesome. Very, very, very eye-opening. And kind of like, wow, yes. Because I am still working on myself. But I learned how to try to figure out why certain things, and it's okay.
Living in poverty takes a toll on relationships and can easily break a family apart. The stress and worry can overcome parents, especially when they have nowhere to turn. Esther and Antonio were struggling to make ends meet. His job in construction could be unstable during bad weather, and she'd been laid off and searching for work for months. With money tight, the toll began to be felt on their marriage. They decided on a trial separation and hoped for the best, but still fell behind on the rent. So how do you save your marriage, keep your family together, and keep the lights on without a little help?
It seemed too much to handle. I didn't know how to handle the situation, everything that was going on. I mean, as far as our utilities being needed to be paid, our rent was past due. So just not being able to do anything and have your family see you go through this, you definitely feel powerless. I think at the time when I came in, I was more focused on the negative part, and I know that Denise and Susan saw in me maybe the potential to be a better person.
Perhaps you can see a bit of yourself in Bernice. She had been working and attending school part-time for years and was determined to complete her accounting degree and make a better life for her family. Together with her husband Jorge, they decided she could enroll full-time for her final year of school and he would provide for the family. They truly thought they could make it work, but then came bad weather and fewer hours for Jorge, and soon the money was running out and they were behind on the rent. Would she ever complete her degree? Would they have a place to live? Where could they find help?
We were struggling to pay our rent on time, to pay our bills on time. So, that created problems. And I heard about the Westside homeless program. And I was happy to become a client, and that helped me out a lot. It was a big decision for me, but I knew that in the long run it was going to pay off, and it was going to be the better decision for my family, because not only was I going to be able to provide more for them, but I also wanted to give them an example of that, that if, that there's always opportunity for everyone to go to school and become a professional in whatever they'd like. And being the first one in my family actually that graduated, and both from high school and college, that makes me real proud, but that makes me feel good that I'm able to provide that example for my children.
With proven programs that lend to self-sufficiency and stronger families, you can trust that when you invest in WHP, you're providing direct support to families who just need a hand up and the right tools to break the cycle of poverty and homelessness. And what you do today will lead these children and their families to a better life for generations to come. We're thankful for the more than 500 families who have done the hard work necessary to change their life since we opened our doors. Your support has helped almost 3,000 people to reach for their dreams. But there's always one more family, one more child who deserves our support. But there's only so much we can do without your help.
Thank you. This program has definitely helped me to grow as a person.
There are people out there that care, and people that, love one another and want to share that joy too.
I'm paying my bills and I'm saving money and having all that in my life. It's hard, but it's a wonderful feeling.
Now, it's your turn to continue building the legacy of stronger families and changing generations for years to come.